Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I hope you're doing great. I want to talk about a couple of stories today that are going to affect all of us. Now, we're going to talk about the Ohio train disaster and how it's going to affect the food supply. We're going to talk about beef prices and what's going on there. We're also going to talk about just food preparation overall and why you need to take this serious. All right. Another thing, I'll put a link down below to the water filter. I've had a ton of people email me back that bought it and they absolutely love it. I've literally used this water filter for 12 years now. Absolutely love this product. And it takes out fluoride out of the water. It takes this vinyl chloride out of the water. They have all these independent lab results on the website that show all of the stuff it takes out, and it's very cost effective. So I've got the under sink model that's like on demand going into my refrigerator. And then I've also got the emergency one where you pour 3 gallons of water in it and it just goes down. Okay. So I'll put that link below. So let's talk about this. This story's out of the hedge. Farmers fear contagion as start of growing season nears the train derailment. Now, before we start this story, and I'm going to be reading it with you, um, as a firefighter, I see fires all over the California, and I go all over the California, sometimes on emergency management teams. And I've worked in all different spots, right, from firefighter to safety officer. And one thing that really interesting to me is just the smoke, because I live in wine country, right? And I don't drink a lot of wine anymore. I love to food pair, and what blows me away is some of the vintages that come out with mass. I mean, it tastes like smoke. It smells like smoke when you're in there, and it's because of a wildfire that blew through when the grapes were close to harvesting. And how just smoke lays down on crops and how it can affect the flavor, the smell, and that there's some toxins there, right? And there's wine that they've sold. Uh, then they go, look, it has this amazing smoky undertone from the fires of 1997, and yeah, you pour it out and you can smell the fire. Right. So we're going to talk about this. It's not only what's seeping into the ground and the water that's about to water these crops all around the area. We're not talking about just the actual area of the train, but think about the smoke. And it's not just that area, because we saw that plume of highly, highly toxic smoke go through the air and settle down. Eventually it settles down. Storms come, it brings those contaminants back down to the earth, right? So it is a very serious, serious situation. So it says right here, with spring planting just around the corner, Ohio and Pennsylvania farmers near the Norfolk southern train derailment are worried about the effects spilled chemicals will have on their crops and livestock. I bet you they're really trying for some insurance payouts right now. In a joint letter on Wednesday, Senators Brown and Fetterman asked Department of Agriculture Secretary Thomas Vislak uh, and U.S. Environmental Protection Agency Administrator Michael Regan to address the concerns of farmers and agriculture producers in the affected areas around East Palestine, Ohio, and also Darlington Township, Pennsylvania. The letter asked the USDA and EPA to send resources to the region to help farmers test soils, plant tissue, and livestock to determine their safety and marketability. It also asks for a review of what disaster assistance could be offered to farmers, because it's true, and this is real. If tests come back, swabs and soil sampling and things like there are contaminants and it's easy to test these things in plants, animals, and soil, and then they have that signature chemical makeup. I know this as being a hazmat specialist and a hazmat technician. We can find that signature that's tied to vinyl chloride or whatever other chemicals were burning and spilled in that disaster. You can easily trace that. But it does cost a lot of money to do these independent lab results. So far, the letter says no agency has provided clear guidance to farmers about the safety of their crops and livestock and whether they will be able to safely sell them. Let me stop there real quick and explain something happened in California. 13 bodies were just recovered from San Bernardino in the mountains. And I had a subscriber comment on one of the videos that she was trapped in her house because of 12-foot snow. So snow all the way around the house, right? Cannot open a window, cannot get out the door. She said the National Guard was supposed to come. They never came. The National Guard mobilized like 5 days after. If you think for a second your government is here to help you, and especially in a timely manner, you are sorely mistaken. And you do need to take steps to prepare now. How do you prepare now? Well, you get yourself 6 months worth of food and set it aside. And we're talking about normal things, not going crazy, but like honestly, You have two situations here. You've got insane weather conditions happening around the nation that is going to affect crops, right? We literally have some crops that are destroyed here in California because of the crazy flooding that's going on. You've got costs that are going up. You need to go store food right now. And then you need a way to filter your water. Like, get a good water filter and start filtering your water, because this is one thing. I've been covering these stories about water in cities and townships like Flint, Michigan. You don't know until it's too late and you've been drinking the water, and like, that water takes out lead, right? I'm talking about, you don't know until it's too late. Oh crap, I've been drinking what? Well, yeah. And then you could find out, what do you mean you've known for a couple of years? Well, we didn't want to just come out and scare people. Yeah, you morons. I mean, I'm talking about the government. You're like, yeah, you need to do something. You need to be prepared. You need extra food on the side, because the government's breaking the backbone of the American consumer, and it is causing literally crazy out of control inflation, and food inflation is going to get worse as rates go up. Just so you know, it's going to get worse before it gets better. More and more contaminants are going to be found in water. Let me explain this too. Another side note: I'm in Cancun the other day with some buddies, some other YouTubers filming videos and doing interviews, and we meet this group of people that are here for convention for water filtration. And I go, wow, this is interesting. Let me talk to them. And I was thinking, for residential, they no, we go around the world and we test hotels for their drinking water, and so that they can get better rates on insurance. And so they go through and they test the drinkability of the water, the safety of the water, so that the insurance companies know that they're not going to get any crazy lawsuits. Pretty interesting, huh? But the thing is I asked, do all hotels test? And they said, no, they do not. Only a few right now test, and pay us to test them and give out these reports so that the insurance can be cheaper. But a lot of times they go, the testing is not worth the cost, the savings in insurance. So think about that. Think about how much you're ingesting in food and water that is unhealthy to you, and your immune system's already compromised, and it's taking another hit because you're taking all these toxins. So just a little thing right there. You got to think about this kind of stuff. Um, it says farmers in the region are already receiving requests to cancel orders due to health concerns. Think about that. There's a lot of suppliers out there of food that deal with farmers and growers in this region are going, we don't want anything to do with it because we have a weird feeling this is going to come back to bite us. So now you're talking about an economical collapse to the farming industry in these towns. And that's a lot of money that's going to be lost. There's going to be a lot of fallout here. Um, the letter said farmers and food producers in East Palestine and Darlington Township need assistance in responding to this man-made disaster. Despite testing results, the letter said some customers will be apprehensive and refuse to purchase agriculture products from the region because of the contamination. That's why farmers have specifically asked for disaster assistance. Guys, this is very, very serious. Now let's move on to another story. This is out of the hedge as well. It's entitled U.S. Cattle Prices Hit 9-Year High as National Herd Drops to Half a Century Low. All right, real quick, I've talked about market cycles. Recessions come every 7 to 10 years, and I said big cycles come 50 and 100 years. And it's not just economics, but you have to remember economics cycles are affected by other cycles, war cycles, sociology cycles, right? And then we have the earth, we have animals, we have plant, we have weather cycles as well. Okay, so think about it. U.S. cattle prices hit 9-year high as the national herd drops to half a century low. Why is the herd low right now? Well, because we've had record drought. So we haven't had enough grain to feed, or grass to feed these animals. So farmers sell more of their herd and keep their herd light because they can only feed so much with the grass that's growing. I'm here in California and we have barely had rain, and it's came in 2 massive flood sweeps. So we're not growing grass like we should be right now. All right. It says if you've been to your local butcher or checked out the meat selection in a supermarket, you're aware that beef prices are still high and in some instances are continuing to rise. Readers have been well informed about beef inflation and why it's happening. Due to the continued scarcity of beef cattle supplies, there appears to be no relief in sight. And as a result, cash markets have risen this week to $165 per 100 pounds, the highest level since the record peaks of 2014. At this point, 9 years ago, ranchers resorted to reducing their herds to combat high feed prices and drought. As we noted the other day, Americans need to be prepared to eat a lot less beef because the size of the national cattle herd is steadily shrinking. Please put in the comment section if you've done studies on how important it is to eat red meat, and not only because of the protein, but the minerals that are in it, especially grass-fed beef. It also is a great booster of testosterone. Now, look, don't take financial advice from me, and also don't take health advice from me. Trust me. I mean, I got all kinds of issues too, right? I've got so many things to learn, but I have realized how important red meat is. And that's why, honestly, there are groups around the world that don't want you eating it. They want submissive people. They don't want proper testosterone levels. They want your body and your mental status completely out of whack so they can control you. That's the truth. Um, and please let me know down in the comment section what you think about red meat and how important it is in a diet. They're trying to convince you that farting cows are destroying the ozone layer. But these are also the same people that said the ice caps would be melted by now, 30 years ago. So we're probably dealing with people that don't have too many brain cells, if you know what I mean. But this is very serious. Now, what can you do about this? I tell to people about having 6 months of food supply. I've told people that you could beat the stock market indexes last year and this year by just going and buying a can of beans, because you're going to see that can of beans go up exponentially. As a matter of fact, you'll see it go up 100% probably over the next year, 100%, because we've already seen it happen. And you're not going to make that kind of return in your stock market. I have food stored, and every time I dip into it and I replenish it on a sale, I know that I've just saved money because I was prudent and I thought ahead to buy it, right? It was like the water filters. There's been times where the water filter company has been completely sold out because it couldn't get the supplies fast enough. And people are like, oh my gosh, I need it. And it usually comes through a disaster, like a hurricane, where people are like begging the government for bottled water. Like, there's only so many planes, so many transport people, so many bottles of water we can get you in a certain amount of time. And they're going, oh my gosh, I wish I had a filter. Uh, or there's people that comment in the videos when I talk about hurricanes and disasters. They go, I got my filter. I'm literally sitting at home right now, filtering water and eating in my food supply, and I'm totally fine. Um, you need to be prepared so that you're not scared. But then it changes your mindset. I want you to understand that it changes your mindset. When you become prepared, your head lifts up, your shoulders go back, and you go, I got this, and I'm going to go and conquer. We need people that are conquerors, not people that are followers. And that's what's going to bring our country back into right alignment. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll put the link below to the water filter company. Absolutely love them. Family owned company in America. Absolutely love them. Hope you guys have a great day, and check out those lab reports. It's really impressive what these filters take out. I hope you guys have a great day. The Economic Ninja is out.